Okay, here it goes. So, I've been wanting to share my story for a long time. I have shared it with a lot of people, like in person, when they tell me that they're struggling with infertility. And I always feel like I have to just tell them my story because hopefully it'll inspire them and give them hope. Because there was a time where I lost hope. But that being said, I do have some bullet points because there's a lot of information and I don't want to miss anything. So I will be glancing a little bit at all my um, notes. so it all started when I was 30 years old. I had already been married for 10 years. My husband was in the active duty military, and we were just ready. So we started trying, and I was pretty impatient. I just didn't want to waste any more time. So after, I want to say, maybe a few months, I was like, I want to go to a fertility specialist because I just want to make sure that, I want to get all the tests done and make sure that my body's okay, and for him also to get tested with his sperm counts and all that stuff. Um, just so we're not just, we have issues and that we don't know about and we're just trying for years and not have a clue what's going on. So we went, got all the tests done. They couldn't find anything. Um, so they just recommend, doing IUIs. So we did that, like, I don't even know how many times, maybe 5 or 6 times. And then that nothing worked. Then we went to the timed insemination, or no, is that what it's called? I think it is. So they you have to take medication and you go in and they insert the sperm. And so we did that a few times too. I want to say maybe 3 or 4 times. And, nothing worked. So you just kind of like, it's a lot of money, a lot of testing done, and um, you start to lose hope. You're like, well, you start to feel like, well, what's wrong with me? Um, I was 30 years old. Like, I felt like I wasn't old, I was still young to have kids. So I was basically diagnosed with unexplained infertility. And I've ran into so many women that have been diagnosed with the same thing. The doctors can't figure out what's wrong and they can't seem to help them. So I saw 4 different fertility doctors, and some other people like recommended their fertility doctor. So I was like, okay, well, let me just go try. Like, we'll see. Like, maybe they'll find something that the others didn't find. So after 4 different doctors, I saw um, one that a friend did recommend, and he was the best. As far as he recommended an MRI to be done. So I got an MRI done. And after that, mind you, let me just say, he did push IVF immediately before doing an MRI, which I'm very thankful now that we did not go that route at first, because my husband just had a gut feeling that that wasn't the right thing to do yet. So, anyways, we did not do IVF right away. I got the MRI done, and then we had an appointment back with him for the results, and immediately he said, I know why you're not getting pregnant. And it was because I had huge fibroids, literally, in my uterus that were like this. And basically, there was like no room for implantation. That's what we were told. So I had to have surgery done. I had the surgery done. It was a robotic myomectomy. And I have like 3 little incisions on my belly. And then they also go in vaginally with cameras. And it's amazing that they could do that. And I did see Dr. Murad, and I can kind of give more info on that later. But he was amazing. Like, um, he's just so gentle and kind, and um, just really took his time with not just the surgery, but just you know being with me and explaining everything to my husband and I, so that we fully understood everything and we're just you know not going in with any questions. And so I had that surgery done. Then we waited, a few months to kind of just let my body heal. Um, but still, we weren't getting pregnant. So I I pushed for it. So I, convinced my husband to do IVF, because at this point I was already, gosh, um, so that whole story so far is years in the making. So I started at 30, and so now I want to say I'm like almost late 30s. Like, it was years in between all this. Like, doing IUIs, we did those for like years because we didn't do them back to back. We waited a while and then we would do it again. Waited a while and do that. We did it again. Um, so it was years. And so by this time, once we got that MRI, I was already like maybe 37, I believe. And so we did IVF. So we prepped my body. You know, you have to do all these injections, and it's it's a lot. It's super expensive, and it's a lot of stress. Like, you try to just not be stressed about it, but like, you can't help it. Like, there's a lot on the line. Like, it's your emotions and just like um it's just something that you want so badly, and you want it to work so badly. And when it doesn't, it just breaks you. It breaks you so bad. And so it didn't work. We did IVF and it didn't work. Um After that, um I did go and see an acupuncturist. So there was an acupuncturist just right down the street from where I used to work. And so right after work, I just went over there, and she specialized in Chinese medicine. And she recommended these herbs to me. And she said, you take these herbs, they regulate your cycle, and they regulate all your hormones. So every week of your cycle, you take different herbs. So it's going to help with your hormones, and it will prepare your body to get pregnant. So I was like, well, what do I have to lose? I already did IVF and it didn't work. And the herbs are only like a little over $100. So I was like, sure, let's do this. So I took the herbs, and within 3 months, I got pregnant. It was like a miracle. I couldn't even believe it. Um, so I was pregnant, and everything was going well. Prior to this, I had been working out for like 4 years or so, doing CrossFit, and like I was in the best shape of my life. And um, so now I'm pregnant, and so I kept working out, still doing CrossFit and kind of like modifying things. But so at 20 weeks, I went in for my anatomy scan, ultrasound, and they found no heartbeat. Gosh, it still like hurts so much. That day was literally the worst day of my life because just like all your hopes and dreams of having a baby and you're, 20 weeks pregnant, like you feel like everything's fine. Like I never felt anything, any pain, nothing. Like it was literally just going in for an ultrasound and there was no heartbeat. Like nobody knows what happened. Have no idea. Still don't know. And worst part is I had to go and deliver our baby in the hospital. Um literally like as if I was in labor, like having a baby. So except, it was all scheduled. Every, um they basically like induce you, and so I was induced, and I thought like I can just handle it and just deliver this baby naturally, since it was so little, but it still was super painful, and I tried to um, just deal with it, but I thought to myself, like I'm already in so much pain emotionally that I'm delivering a dead baby. Um, like I don't want any more pain, you know. So they gave me an epidural. Like the nurses asked me if I wanted it, and so at that point I was just like, yeah, like I don't want to be in any more pain. So I had an epidural, and then most of the pain was pretty much gone except in my heart, and I think I fell asleep for a little while. My husband was there, and all of a sudden, like I just felt something come out. So, my husband looked, and it was our baby. So they called the nurses, and they we were able to hold our baby and look at our baby. It was a little boy. His name is David Jr. Oh, sorry. Okay. So after that, you just have to take time to heal. I feel like I'll never get over it. Like it still hurts to talk about, but you do just find ways to move on, you know? Like we talk about our baby, our girls now. We do have two girls now. um, they know that they have a big brother in heaven. So, yeah, so you just find ways to move on. And so after that, my husband, he was still active duty, so he got deployed for 9 months. So he was gone, and I was here by myself with my two dogs. And I just kept working out, trying to get, back in shape, and and be ready, like to try again when he got back, And it was almost like a little bit of a, not a blessing, but like the fact that he was deployed, and we had that time where we couldn't, try to get pregnant because he was not here. I think it was probably a good thing because it allowed my body to just truly heal, and also emotionally, just you need time to heal. So I didn't bring any tissue over here. Okay. So he's back, right? 9 months later, he's back. And so actually right before he got back, I went and saw Dr. Murad again. the one that did my surgery, and I had him take a look again. He went in robotically again because of the endometriosis can grow back, right? So I had another MRI done, and they said they saw like a little bit of fibroids, but nothing too crazy. So he still recommended surgery just to like clear it all out, just to make sure everything's nice and clean and ready, you know. So um, I had the surgery done again, and while my husband was still gone. So I had the surgery done, and then I started taking the herbs right before he got here to help regulate all my hormones again. And as soon as he got back, 2 months later, I was pregnant. It was amazing. Another miracle. Like, nobody could believe it. I couldn't even believe it. And we did not tell anybody, except for our immediate family, for a while. Yeah, I think at 20 weeks, after my anatomy scan at 20 weeks, and everything was still fine. Super strong heartbeat, no issues. We finally announced it to the world. I just could not wait anymore. And yeah, then everything went well. Had a, almost full term. I ended up having to have a C-section because she was sideways, wouldn't go head down. But I did not care. Like, my baby was, here. She was alive and healthy, and it's all that matters. So we had a baby girl. She's now 4.5 years old. And I still can't believe it sometimes. Um, so, about 2 years later or so, a little less than 2 years, we were ready for number two. Because at this point, I had my first baby at 39, and I was 41, and I was kind of like, okay, are we gonna have another baby? Because if we are, we need to do it now. Like, I don't want to wait any longer. I'm ready. So my husband and I decided, let's do it. So I took the herbs again. Boom, 2 months pregnant. Another miracle. And we had another baby girl. She's now 2.5, almost 2.5 actually. And that's my story. It feels so good to just talk about it and share it with the world. And I want to help. Anybody that needs help or just hope, encouragement, anything, please reach out. I will do my best to help you. I'm not a doctor, obviously, but I've been through a lot and I have a lot of information and doctors that can help that I trust. And after seeing 4 different fertility doctors that pushed IVF without even checking me, like, fully, like, nobody did an MRI until that 4th one. And I feel like that's like should be number one. Like, an MRI will literally show you everything, but they just like push IVF, and it's not the route for everyone. And I'm not against IVF at all, obviously. Like, I did it. And I have a lot of friends that it's worked for them, and it's amazing. The fact that you can do that is, it's wonderful. I'm not against it at all. It just did not work for me. So there are other ways. And I'm now 44. I can't even believe it. I'm going to be 45 this year. But I have a 4.5-year-old and a little bit 2-year-old and 2 and 4 months. And we are not having any more babies. I totally would if I was younger, but that's just, our choice. Like, I'm super happy with our baby girls, and And now, now it's a whole nother world, momhood. Trying to stay as young and in shape as possible to keep up with them, because they're wild. I love them. Oh, so please reach out, and I'll be posting more videos and just more information on more of the details on all of this, especially the herbs and the acupuncturist that I saw. Um, I'll be talking to her also, and just she can share some information with you and how you can reach her. Um, so thank you for following.